Welcome to the Lazy Fluency podcast, where we have casual conversations switching between English and Japanese, so you can learn from and with us along the way. I'm Joey.
And I'm Yami.
And the topic of the day is...
日本の変なイベントの祝い方。
イェイイェイ。
イェイイェイイェイ。そう、今回はですね。
Does this count as a Japanese event? Does this podcast count as a Japanese event?
わかりませんね、それは。まあ。なってほしいですけどね。まあ。ってなわけで、まあ今日はその日本の変なイベントの祝い方ということですね。まあ何を意味するかというと、日本人は、なんて言うんだろう。全然、そのイベントの意味が分かってないのに、変な祝い方をするっていう。まあ、例えばですね、ここ最近イースターというものがありました。はい。
Yeah.
はい。それは、いつだったっけあれ。
It was April 17th?
4月17か。
Yeah.
それって毎年変わるので合ってる？
I think so. I always feel like it's in spring. I'm pretty sure. In April. I feel like it's always in April, but it changes, like the date. Sort of like Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving と似てんのかね。なんか、第何週の何曜日とかで決まるんだよね、確か。
Yeah, that's the same. That's for Thanksgiving. I'm not sure what decides April. I think it's a religious thing. It's definitely a religious thing.
多分、そうだよね。今ちょっと調べたらね、なんか、キリスト教にはさ、そのいろんな教派があるじゃん、
Yeah.
で、それの、なんか、西方教会と東方教会で、なんか時期が違うらしい。また、そう。
Yeah, I think they're something or Eastern Orthodox and something Orthodox. Something like that.
そう、それ。まあ、今その聞いて、くれている人の中で、多分日本人がほとんどはわかんないけど、その日本人のほとんどはイースターの起源っていうのはあんまりわからない人も多いかなと思うので、ここでちょっとイースターがどんな感じなのかっていうのは紹介していけたらいいなと思います。ジョイはちょっと説明できる？
Hold up. Does Japan celebrate Easter?
なんかね、例えばディズニーランドとか、まあユニバーションとかね、ユニバとかね、とか、まあ他のやつでもイースターっていう概念はあるんだよ。で、それがなんか卵とか、うさちゃんとかに、が関係してるっていうのは分かってて、だけど、それが何なのか分からないまま、イースターだ、イエーイ、祝おうぜ、みたいな感じだから、多分ね。
Does anybody actually do anything for the holiday outside of like going to Disneyland?
No.
For example, like Halloween and Christmas?
ハロウィンは、まあ、かの有名な渋谷のスクランブル交差点での、
Yeah, that's my point. Is like they're aware of or Japanese people celebrate Halloween and they sort of celebrate Christmas. I guess you might talk about that later, but
そう。イースター
I
は
don't.
ない
Yeah,
んじゃな
anyways.
い？
Yeah, Easter. I mean, I don't know how everybody else celebrates it. I think it's pretty common to have like do something with like your larger extended family, kind of like sort of like Thanksgiving, where except there's also more stuff for kids where you can like set up eggs and put them around various locations and then do an Easter egg hunt. It's a kind of a combination of Halloween and Thanksgiving where you also, because it's all like you get a bunch of candy and you also get a big meal. Although I think it's pretty common. I don't know. Maybe it's not too weird to not to do something on Easter, if that makes any sense.
確かに
At least from my perspective.
なんだ、春、夏、秋、冬の中で、春ってさ、唯一イベントなんもないから、まあイースターで祝ってもいいんじゃないかってのはあるよね。
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
う
I mean, it's
ん。
just that there's just I think Easter is just when it leans into the being a little religious, more religious to the point where people are like, if I'm not religious, I'm not really interested in celebrating this.
うん。
Um, even though Halloween and Christmas are also both religious, um, I can't remember the origins of Halloween, but I'm pretty sure it had to do something with some religion.
うん。
Um,
まあそうね。
yeah,
あ、じゃあそのイースターの語源っていうか、まあ起源っていうのは、そのイースターはキリストの復活で、
yeah,
そうそうそう、キリストがまあ復活したのを祝うっていうので、で、クリスマスはそのキリストの誕生日では
birth,
なく
yeah,
て、誕生を祝うらしいね。だから、そうそうそ
yeah,
う。うん、そこら辺
yeah,
も
yeah,
多
yeah.
分、そう、まあごちゃ混ぜになってる人もいるかもしれないっていうことで、まあ、そ
Mm,
ういうもの。そうそうそう。
yeah, I think it's
で、
pretty
うん。
common. Oh, go ahead.
あ
Sorry.
あ、うん、そうだね。
Yeah, I was saying
ああ、
I
うん。
think it's pretty common for that, like Christmas to not actually celebrate the whole religious part of Christmas. Sort of like, although Japan just does their own thing. I don't understand the. Are you going to talk about the like Christmas in Japan or
あ
like what 変な祝い方
あ、
were
あ
you
あ、
thinking about?
はい、クリスマスにはですね、クリスマスはそもそもね、カップルの日っていう、なぜかよくわからない、あの、文化が日本にありましてね、カップルで
Yeah,
一緒に過ごして、なんかイルミネーションかなんか一緒に見に行くっていうのが、まあクリスマスの、典型的な祝い方ですね、日本では。はい。
yeah, the illumination. I wasn't there in Japan at Christmas, but like a little before then. But the illumination was like a really big buzzword. Although obviously there are like Christmas light shows. I think maybe they're also called illuminations. But especially the dating, there's I don't entirely understand how that happened.
あ、
Maybe it's because
そう。
like because in Christmas is not dating at all in the U.S.
う
Maybe if you're
ん。
married,
う
you do something
ん。
like that. But for the most part, it's not dating. Like that's a very small part of Christmas. It's like I guess we Americans have a lot of like just general family events.
うん。そう
Like
ね。
oh,
う
go ahead.
ん。
Sorry.
あ、ごめんごめん。ハロウィンは家族で過ごす？
I mean, you do in the sense that um, you like a lot of times like parents will bring their children around like the neighborhood and like trick or treating when they're very young. But when people get older, you don't really celebrate it as a family. Like if you're like in your teens, you can normally walk by yourself
うん。
around the neighborhood and get candy. And then if you're older than that and you're an adult, then maybe people just tend to go to Halloween parties and stuff like that.
うん。う
Sort of
ん。
like I don't actually I've never been to Shibuya, so I can't. But I'm assuming Shibuya probably does it actually pretty like on point, where people just dress up and get drunk.
なんか面白いのがさ、ハロウィンはさ、日本ではどちらかというと大人の楽しみじゃない？さっき言ってたようにさ、仮装してさ、お酒飲むからさ、で、子供は子供で多分、そんな仮装ってするのかなわかんないけど、大人が楽し
Yeah,
んでるイメージはある。そ
yeah, definitely in Japan. In America, I'd say like 50-50. I don't know how common it is nowadays, but like when I was younger, it was very I really liked Halloween because of that. But we also have like Thanksgiving pretty close to it, so maybe that's why like Halloween can be I don't know. Yeah, we have a lot of holidays at the end of the year.
う。うん、
And by
あ、
we I
そう
mean
ね。
Americans do.
うん。11月、12月に多いイベント。
Yeah.
う
Wait,
ん。
what so from Halloween, I think I can give Japan a pass. Like that's pretty accurate. Christmas, I don't understand, especially the KFC. That's one people always talk about.
なんか、あれでしょミームかなわかんないけどさ、日本で KFC を、クリスマスに食べるのが、とても面白いと有名らしいね。
Yeah, yeah, yeah. well, it's not just. I mean, if it okay, so there are multiple levels here. One, chicken on Christmas is kind of weird.
え、
Fried
何食べる
chicken
の
on Christmas is weird. And then having a sponsored company, specifically KFC, chicken is
うん。
triply weird. Especially
そ
since
う。
KFC is like one of the there were like many different polls, like I think it was like 2 years ago or more for like determining what the most loved and hated restaurants are in the US, and KFC ranked oh no, hold up, was I think it was the quality of the restaurant,
うん。
and KFC got dead last
あ、そうなんだ。
because the facilities are like dirty, or at least that's the thought. I think they went I watched the whole video of talking about like an ad campaign for KFC and them trying to get their image to improve, but for the most part, I mean, I actually am fine with KFC. I don't hate it that much, but and it's fine when it's fine. But um, wait, so actually, I want to ask you then. So how does the couples thing work with KFC? Because all the meals I saw are like they look like they're big enough to eat with your family.
ああ、あ、どうなんだろうね。私、その、日本の他の人がどう祝ってるか知らないけど、多分ね、24? クリスマスイブかクリスマスにそのカップルで、まあなんか一緒に過ごして、で、なんだろうね。多分その KFC のチキンのバケットは家族で食べるのかな。まあそれか、その恋人たちが食べるのかな。一緒に過ごして。わからん。うー
Yeah,
わかった。予想だと、その、小学生とか、まあ、子供たちがいる、その、
yeah.
家族は、KFC を食べて、で、まあ、高校生、大学生、まあ、大人、ね、社会人とかは、その、カップルでどっか行くとかなんじゃない？
Um, I
知
mean
らない。
that sounds reasonable. Yeah, but I'm not sure. I've never been.
うー
Um,
ん。
my take from the people I've talked to is that they just don't do anything on Christmas, or the majority of people.
私
I
の、
guess some people get
うー
chicken, but
ん。
I wanted to pick up the chicken just because it looks hilarious.
何肉食べんの？
Ham. That is a Christmas ham is normally what I
ああ、
yeah.
じゃあチキンではないのか。
No,
うーん。
no.
なる
Thanksgiving
ほ
is
どね。
turkey. Christmas is ham. Also, I think
ああ、
roast beef as well. I'm
う
not
ん。
sure. In my head, Christmas ham is the more traditional thing to eat. Um, yeah, ham. I mean, yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, the other one I can think of is a Valentine's Day,
う
which
ん。
is in Japan where they one of the only instances where I can think they actually have two different holidays for the one equivalent. Because
う
I don't think
ん。
Valentine Day to begin with, I don't think was a Japanese thing, and then, well, I mean, it wasn't. And then on top of that, they have an additional holiday. So then I find that whole thing very weird.
バレンタインデーしかも全然違うんだよね。日本ではね、まずチョコを女の子が男の子にチョコを渡して、で、そのチョコも、なんか、友チョコと、義理チョコと、普通のチョコ、なんだ、本命チョコ。
Futsu choco.
あ、
Yeah,
普通のチョコっていうか、本
choco.
命チョコ。そ
Well,
う。
it's not futsu, yeah, homemade choco.
いや、本命チョコ。
Oh, I actually want, how do you know what's giri, what's homemade, and what was the other one?
友チョコ
Oh, yeah, tomo choco.
なんか、友チョコ、私も定義よくわかんないんだけど、友チョコは、その、男の子にも女の子にも渡せるのね。だから普通に仲いい子。私が、まあ女だから、女の子にも普通に渡せるし、男の子にも普通に友チョコとして渡せるのね。まあ、それ、
No,
男の子に渡す場合は義理チ
hold
ョ
up.
コ。
Are there no, it doesn't say on the chocolate though.
どういうこと？
Well, like, you can't tell from the type of chocolate you receive.
何
For example,
あ
like
これは、
homemade choco
あ
maybe is like extremely expensive or something, and then giri choco is like some like dollar store chocolate.
多分、そうだ
Because
ね。
it,
なんか、
Because it seems at the moment, it seems like you could be having a lot of misunderstandings.
でもね、本命チョコは別に高いの買わなくていいんだよ。自分で、その手作りチョコで、なんか思いを伝えるみたいな。だから、高くなくていい。
But what about, okay, so if you don't have to buy homemade choco, then how, so there's no difference between giri choco, homemade choco, and tomo choco?
まあ、違いなくてもいいけど、でも多分本命チョコは、なんていうの、渡す相手に好意を持っているっていうことで、その
No,
本
but
命チョ
how
コ
do
って言
you
われる。
how do you know that
だって手紙と
they
か添えるん
have
じゃないわかん
feeling?
ないけど。手紙とか
Oh, okay,
さ、
so you
言
add
葉。
you add a letter
そ
because like you don't want that misunderstanding. Oh, also for White Day,
う。
do you have to return the chocolates that are giri or just honme? Like what does the guy have to return?
まあ、バレンタインデーで、女の子からチョコもらった男子たちは、お返しをするの。もらった相手に。
Oh, so only if you received it from a girl?
そうそ
So if you receive tomo choco, you do not have to return tomo choco.
う。だから友チョコもらったら返すよ。友チョコ。
Okay, but what if it's tomo choco from your guy friend? Oh no,
何
you can't receive. Hold up. So you can't receive chocolates from a guy on Valentine's Day.
そうそう。まあ、なんか女の子のイベントだから。
even as tomo choco?
うん。なんかね、不思議なことに
Oh, that's
ね、
interesting.
女の子しかやらないよ、こういうの。
Well, it
なん
used to. I mean, Valentine's Day in the U.S. is completely different. I mean, obviously you give chocolates, but it's both ways, and you don't have to give tomo choco or giri choco. No, there's just homemade choco, and both
あー
people would give each other homemade choco, and then you'd go like I don't know to a restaurant or something like that.
じゃあ、クリスマスみたいな感じか。
Oh, hold up. Christmas.
待
No,
って、日
not
本のクリス
Christmas.
マスね。はいはい、ご
Yeah.
めん。ごめん。
Wait, hold
は
up,
い
hold up. So I actually want to clarify. If you
うん
give homemade choco,
うん
do you go on a date or do you just give the homemade choco? And is a homemade choco, is that the same thing as confessing?
うん、多分、そうなのかなわかんない。なんか本当に、なんだ、他の人はバレンタインの日に、告白をするのかどうか知らないけど、まあでも、そうしたら、それは、告白っていうことになるんじゃない知らん。
Huh.
そ
Um, uh, I mean, I've just left being more confused about the whole. So, only girls can give chocolate, regardless if they're tomo, giri, or home.
う。うん。
And regardless of what type of chocolate they get. Oh, here's a good question. Do you have to return what you were given? So if it's like a giri choco, you have to give them giri choco back, or can you return a giri choco with homemade choco? Like let's say it's giri choco because it's kata, it's like one
うん。
sided, like they
そう
like
ね。
you, or they don't like you, but you like them. So they give you giri choco. Can you
う
then
ん。
on White Day as a guy respond with homemade choco?
まあ、できるんじゃないもし、やりたいなら。う
Oh, I thought
ん。
if you already have three different categories, I thought the rules were more set out.
う
Because
ん。
that makes it awkward for the person who just gave giri choco, right?
まあね。だけ
Because you
ど、
like it's giri dakara.
うん。まあ、なんか、ただ、なんていうの告白のタイミングを一緒に、なんていうのチョコと付随してやっただけで、別に、できるんじゃないだって、別に告白はいつだってできるけど、その、なんだ、ホワイトデーにやろうと思ってやってるわけだから、別にできるとは思うよ。義理チョコ
What
も
if
ら
you
って
what if
本命で買
what
う。
if you what if you don't receive any chocolate but you want to confess on White Day? Can you give
あ
homemade choco to somebody you didn't receive choco from, or is that like a social taboo?
どういうことチョコもらってないのに、
Yeah, yeah. Then you give homemade choco.
その男がってこと？ホワイトデーに。
Yeah. So
え、
you
う
don't
ん。
receive any chocolate, but then on
え
white day you want to confess, so you get homemade choco.
それ難しいな。どうなんだろうね。やりたければやっていいんじゃない？
Well, I mean,
あ
fundamentally, you can do anything you want. I'm just trying to figure out. That seems like it'd be pretty common. Like a guy has a crush on somebody and he didn't receive any choco,
うん。
so then he just screwed. And he's
う
like, "Well,
ん。
now I can't give her choco because she didn't give me choco a month ago."
うん。ギミチョコ、ギミチョコ。まあ。
Okay, yeah.
わかんないな。まあ、でもできるっちゃできるとは思うよ。
I've learned a lot about Valentine's Day.
まあね。うん。変な祝い方をしますよ、日本では。はい。Hello. So in this section, we're gonna talk about our daily updates. Yep.
うん。
Are you ready?
そうそう。大丈夫だよ。
Okay. So what I'm gonna talk about is that. So I mentioned that I was doing Japanese online tutor, right?
うん。
Yeah, and so something happened, and
また変
so
なじいさんが。
no. It's well, yeah, he's not a normal student, but I'm gonna talk about this. So there's a student. I guess he lives in America.
うん。
And so he changed the schedule 3 times. So like
え、
so originally so he said the our first lesson like 3 weeks ago.
うん。
But like he kept changing that, and so yesterday was the day that we finally like could I thought like finally we could have the first lesson.
うん。
And I entered the lesson room, and I was waiting for him to come.
それで
Yeah, and he didn't show up.
で、3
Yeah.
回ぐらい予約したんだけど、結局、授業取れなかった。
Yeah, and so I was so like I thought he would come like in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but like he didn't show up, and then I waited for 20 minutes,
うん。
but he didn't show up, so I said that I can't wait anymore. So if you want to reschedule our first lesson, then talk to the support team.
うん。
And yeah, I said that. And so later he messaged me and saying he fell asleep.
I fell asleep. あら。で、
Yeah.
最初に予約した時に何か言ったの？予約というか先延ばした時。
Well, so the reason, so like when students want to reschedule their lessons, they have to give reasons to reschedule, right?
それ
And
で3回。
yeah, he said just like ありがとうございます. That's it for 3 times. That's not a
いや
reason.
ありがと
Give me some reason.
う。警察だったら、なぜその人殺したの？ありがとうございます。
Yes, kind of
あ
like
ざっす。
that. あざっす。
あざっす。
Yeah, but
騙され
yes.
ないでください。
And like weird things happened after that. So even though he didn't take our trial lessons, which is our first lesson, he bought like a lesson package for 6 hours. So like on the platform you buy like hour package.
うん。
Yeah, do you know what I
う
mean?
ん。
Yeah, to have
そう。
lessons. And even though he hasn't experienced our lessons, he suddenly booked like my lessons for 6 hours.
まあ、
Would you
そ
do
の、
that if you were a student?
恥ずかしすぎたから、多分なんか一応お金あげたかったと
What?
いうなんていうか、3回ぐらい予約して結局、参加できなかったから、まあ、たくさんあゆみの時間無駄にしちゃったから、
Well,
一応、
yeah, sure.
なんかこれ、
うん
なんかお金としての例かもしれない。
Well, I like even though he booked 6 hours, a 6 hour package, that doesn't mean that I can get those money.
まあ、
Like after after
なるほど。
so I have lessons, then I can get money, and also like I don't know how to say in English, but there's tesurio. How do you say tesurio?
She said normally it's shipping and handling.
Yeah.
でも、shipping and handling
I don't
な
know,
い
but
よね。
なんていう
手数料は普通に shipping and handling という。でも、
well, yeah.
この場合だとちょっと違うかもしれない。
Well, yeah, so basically
A service fee, maybe
a
service
service
fee か
fee.
な。
So like
この場合だと。
on the platform, there's service fee, like, and it's
使うための。
about 30%. So I have to pay like 30% of my income to the company, to the platform company. So my lesson is $9 per hour. So that means I have to pay like 30%, so like around $3 around $3 to the company. Yeah, so that means like I only get $6 per hour. Wow. Yeah, that's just bummer.
あゆみのアップデート。
Yes, that was my update. And what about you? What did you have recently?
髪を切った。
Yay! Yay! How was it?
まあ大丈夫だった。でもなんかいつ髪を切ろうと思うの？逆に。
I don't know. It depends. Like, so I guess it depends on the person. So if you're a boy, then you want to get your haircut like sooner, right?
かもしれない。まあ、髪短かったら。まあ日本だと学校はそんなことを制御するでしょう。その髪の長さ。
Yeah, right, yeah.
前のポニーテールの話思い出した。
Yeah, if your hair is too long, then you have to get a haircut. Yeah.
でもアメリカだとそういうルールないから、まあ友達の中では結構その長い髪が長い人が一応している。でも 50%、60% の友達は、まあすごく長いという、いやスタイルだけ長くてウェイビー。でも私の場合だと、なんていうかその帽子でなんか自分の髪を鳴らそうとするときに、まあなんかこれはちょっとやばくて多分髪を切った方がいいんじゃないかと。
Oh, so that was the moment you decided to get a haircut.
あまりなんか遊ばないタイプ、髪で。なんかアフロをやりたかったらできると思う。その髪がすごく多いから。
But you will be nasty afro.
いや、綺麗、ちゃんと綺麗なアフロを作ることができると思う。
But I guess like afro is like there are many, how do I say? little curls, right?
うん。うん。そ
うんうんうん。Like, afro ね。So afro, so people who have afro are are so are they born with were they born with afro hair or
まあ、
is it
なんか、
natural?
髪の、ある程度自然だけど、同時にすごく大きなアフロを作るには、道具が必要。
あ
hair pick。日
あ、う
本語でなんて言うかわかんないんだけど、自分の髪をそういうふう、なんかアフロがあったら、その、perm で、ストレートヘアになる可能性がある。可能性というか、その、やり方ある。
Oh, I see, I see, I see. So I want to ask you how much was your hair salon like to get a haircut? How
haircut
much do you
を
spend?
barbershop に行ったんだけど、
Barbershop,
その
okay.
時計さんと美容院でしたっけ
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
う
yeah,
ん。
yeah, yeah.
の
That's
違い。
right. Yeah.
うん。13ドルだった。
I guess that's around 1500 yen, right?
うん。
Mm.
500円。1400円かな。
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
い
guess
や、でも
that's
それは
normal.
普通じゃないと思う。ア
What?
メリカでは普通の、まあ、州によるんだけど、多分20ドルからが普通。20ド
Wow.
ルか30で、
30.
女だったら40、50ドルかかる時が結
Well,
構多い。
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. And like at a barber shop, what kind of treatments do you get normally?
髪、
Like just
髪が切られる。
yeah, and that's it?
そ
Or like you
う。
don't get
どういうこ
any
と？
shampoo
い
kind
や、
of
まあ
stuff?
私が行ってる場所はただ切るだけ。で、
Um,
私にとってそれが全然大丈夫だ。
yeah, yeah, yeah,
日
yeah,
本に行った
definitely.
時になんか変というか、私が知らなかった道具をいっぱい使ったんだけど、そ
Wow.
ういうなんかレーザーブレード、なん
What's
ていうか
that?
日本語で、の普通のなんか刃みたいな、あの、なんか知ってる？そのなんか古いアメリカの広告で、そういうなんか、ハサミじゃなくて、まあハサミを使うんだけど、そのヒゲを剃るための道具。
Well, like apparently I'm not a guy, so I've never seen.
ま
Yeah. Oh,
あ、
well,
ま
yeah. So you guys don't have that in America.
いやいや、あるんだけど、
Okay.
私が行ってる場所はただ、ハサミだけで、ハ
Mm.
サミと、何でしたっけ？英語でも忘れてしまった。まあ、自分の髪を、何でしたっけ？レーザーじゃないんだけど、そのなんか短くするハサミ以外のこと。まあ、どうでもいい。
Okay.
少なくとも
Mm.
嬉しい、今。
Oh, that's good. That's good. Because, like, summer is coming soon. So you,
う
like,
ん、ついに。
mm. Yeah,
あ
yeah.
あ、思い出した。その、
What?
春なのに雪降ってる。まあ今は大
Oh,
丈夫だけど、結構最近降ってきた。たく
wow,
さん。
like, but here in Japan, it's getting so hot. Like, I guess you don't understand the temperature because it's in Celsius, but it's like, so yesterday was 27 degrees in Celsius. So that means like it's called manatsubi. So above 25 degrees, it's called manatsubi. And even
うん。
if it's spring now, we had that temperature. So yeah, pretty
ちょっとわ
hot.
かんないんだけど、雪降ってないでしょ？
Yeah,
少
no,
な
no,
くとも。
no yuki, no yuki. Because what? How cold is it? Cold there?
まあ、摂氏だと5度かな？
Wow, that's
5 か
wow.
ら、0
That's
から10の間。
Oh, that's winter.
うん。
Is it
そ
normal
う、
to
すご
have
く悲しい。
snow?
そ
Sorry.
う。うん。時々、6月でも雪が降ることがある。
What?
すごく
Wow, I just
残念。
I can't imagine like having snow in June. Oh, wow. Yeah, wow.
実際に経験してるのに、私もちょっと信じられない。
Then, so you have winter longer than summer where you live.
うん、まあ、個人的な私のサマーの夏の定義によると、年の 90% は冬で残ってる1月はまあ時々夏である
What
可能
about
性が 高い。
autumn and
いや、存在しない。
spring?
雪と
No.
雪がない。雪と雪
Wow.
がないだけ。まあもちろんあるんだけど、今は春特に。でも
Ah,
そういう気がしない。最低な現実。
wow. Is it the same in other places in America, or is it
いや、違う。
no? Is it
い
just
や、
your
場所による。
Oh.
カ
I
リ
see.
フォルニアはだいたい雪が降らない。
Yeah,
で、
yeah, yeah.
右の方だと、右というか西の方だと結
右。
構雪が降る。右。まあ、右と西。
Migi means like east, right?
右
Migi.
なんか
Migi is east.
ごめんね、逆。東と西。
Okay.
東の方だと結構雪降
Yeah.
る。西の方だとあまり降らない。
Yeah. Like when it comes to think about California, then I imagine like people were doing surfing all the time. Like, yeah,
うん、
beaches.
やったことないんだけど、
Yeah.
まあ、羨ましい、一応。
I see. Oh yeah, since you're can you say summer person, or you are a summer person?
完全な夏派。完
Mm.
全なる。 うん、
Oh yeah.
そう。他の季節大嫌い。まあ、少なくとも私の今住んでる場所の季節大嫌い。
Well, I don't like humidity in Japan, like in summer.
かわいそう。
Yeah.
最高なのに。
No, I just like I can survive like winter because like you just have to put on clothes, right? Piles of clothes. But like for summer, you can't like rip off your skin, right?
もうサバイブする必要ないよ。味わってください。その夏の気持ち。
No, what? No, just no,
それ
no,
と
no,
たくさん水飲む。
no.
それが一番ベスト。
Yeah, like especially in summer, sparkling drinks. Yeah, are the
どういうこ
best.
と？
I know.
まあ、
How do you
まあ
like
私にとって
soda?
水は最高。スパークリングソーダ。
Like it's
うん、
sparkling
が
water.
してるよ。
Yeah.
うん。まあ、私水派だから。ソーダ飲まない。
Healthy person ね。
まあ、水好きだから、それだけの話。
That's good, that's good. Well, yeah. Hope you will have your favorite summer soon. Yeah.
神様、お願いします。
It's just
And we're back with the last section.
yay.
Yay. First thing I want to say, as always, it doesn't that frequently, but please send us a message, whether it be a question, a comment, language related, and or otherwise at lazyfluency@gmail.com. And then we'll respond. I mean, we'll also respond in the comments as well. But yeah. Anyways, with that out of the way, I have another rant. I seem to have like about 5 times more rants than you do with English, but
はい。ごめんなさい。
it is what it is. Apparently it's a beautiful, fun time learning English, and it's a hellscape learning Japanese with at least with my brain constantly
かもしれないね。
struggling to comprehend every part of the language. But
はい。
I don't think I've talked about this one before because maybe I've hinted at it, which is onomatopoeias or onomatope.
Onomatopoeias。オノマトペです
Onomatopoeia.
ね。
It's
はい。
Yeah, it's a fun word to say, which for those who don't know onomatopoeia, it's just bam, smack, wow. Maybe I don't know if wow counts, but sound effects basically. And okay, we'll start from here. So sound effects are cool. I don't have any problems against sound effects. English has them, or onomatopoeia. Well, pretty much every language has them.
うん
But let's start with some basics here. So first problem, when I normally look at words, I'm like randomly actually dependent on kanji. So if there aren't kanji, then it's making me sad.
うん
Because then if I don't know the word, I can't even guess. And onomatope or onomatopoeias kind of have this problem because when you see them, you can't actually infer any meaning from them. It's just hiragana most of the time, or katakana.
まあ、オノマトペ、多分、日本人からしたら、その、オノマトペ聞いただけで、どういう意味するかわかるけど、多分、日本語勉強してる人からしたら、コンテクストがないと、わかんないかもね。
Well, definitely not wakanai kamo. Definitely wakanai. I tried to. That's my second part. This one's totally I know that in some Japanese brain these sounds they make sense to attribute to different things, but the specificity that some onomatopoeia are attributed to makes it like. So my secondary question is it just like a vibe? I know some of them like are very set in stone and you have to use them in certain situations, but I swear, like especially with manga and other stuff, like it just doesn't matter and you can just use whatever. And so I've a list. I have a list of onomatopoeia here.
Okay, はいはい。
And I'm gonna hit you with them to test your onomatopoeia
逆がいいよ。
skills.
逆がいいよ。Like,
Whoa, hold up. You want to see like what I'm thinking, like what's it called? You want to test what my vibe is?
そう。面白いオノマトペを自分に聞いて、
Yeah.
本当
Look
に
up
わかるか。
onomatopoeia matome.
うん。オノマトペ一覧っていうのを私今見てる。
Okay.
何でもいいの。
Well, hold up. Let me. Yeah, you can go with anything, but
うん。
my last complaint, which has to do with this, is English. I mean, maybe English is more than I'm aware of, but I swear to God, like they're only used in comics for the most part. But for some reason, in Japanese, onomatopoeia are used as verbs, and they're probably used more than any other type of speech. And when you're using, it's almost like specialty, like medical terminology with how like obscure some of them seem to be, and it's part of like daily language. And so it'd be like in English if you were saying like every time you're like for example, let's have a fake conversation here. Well, it'd be like, I went to bam bam flash to the store, or the like yesterday it rained boom a lot.
いやそんな使わないって。
That is how you use it with like
ちゃうわ。
like, gangan, like don. It's like you use it as adverbs. So that is kind of, so it's totally like, man, he ran like swish fast. And you're just like, what? To me it sounds like no hate, but onomatopoeias like lower the level of speech from like if it was like at least like one like a step of education. So if it's like a high school conversation, it now sounds like a middle school. If it's a middle school conversation, now it sounds like elementary school. And if it's like a graduate conversation, it sounds like a high school conversation now. Just with that complaint out of the way, hit me with some onomatopoeia.
OK。なんか今一覧見てるけどね、私ね、95% わかるな。すっごい長いけど。
95, すごい。
そう、じゃあちょっと。
I don't. Okay, hit me with some hard ones. Although maybe the easy ones to you are my hard ones, but we'll see.
じゃあ単語っていうか、あげるね。
Okay, okay.
はい、チャラチャラは何でしょう？
Chara chara. Okay, in my head, chara chara gives me the vibe of, is it somebody being like very chatty or like, oh gosh, I have a picture in my head. Is it something flickering or flittering? Like fluttering, sort of?
まあそうね、なんか例えばさ、小銭をポケットの中入れてたらチャラチャラするとか。
Yeah.
あと、人に使えて、
Oh, that clicks now, yeah.
そう、人に使うと、チャラチャラしてる、チャラチャラしてるっていうのは、flirt.
Yeah. I know that usage of it. Yeah.
そう。
Okay.
うん、じゃあ、
without any context, it's a lot harder though. Yeah, if I heard, yeah, throw another one.
スラスラ。
Sura, it means like smoothly, right? Or like without resistance?
そう。なんか、スラスラ問題解く、スラスラ書くとかね。そう。いいじゃん。
Okay.
いいじゃんすか。
Okay, so far, sort of like 2 for 2.
うん。これ面白いな。パオーン。
パオーン? Is that some sort of like roar of some animal?
なんでしょうね。
パオーン. Can you use it in a sentence?
これ言ったらもうダメだよ。答えになっちゃうもん。
It's not animal? It sounds like an animal.
アニモだよ。
Oh, so I have to guess the animal. Is it a lion?
そう。
No.
ライオンはね、ガオーなの。多分。ガオー。
ガオー。
そう。
Oh God. パオーン。
じゃあ答えね。
Hold up, is it a common animal?
うん、めっちゃコモンだよ。
What is it? It's not a dog, right? Not a dog?
not a dog.
And it's not a cat. It's not a
猫で
horse.
もない。
Not a lion. It's not a pig, I don't think. Oh, a bear, maybe?
違う。クマはパオーンしないよ。
Okay, what is it? I concede.
象が、大きな声でパオーンと鳴いた。
Oh my God. パオーン。
パオーンは象だね。象にしか使えない気がする。
Yeah, okay.
そう。
That's fair. I can sort of see where the paon is. Although I don't think pa is right at all. It's way too high. Like an elephant makes a very high pitched noise, so I don't understand why pa is being used for that. It should be like gion or something.
なんていう英語だと象の鳴き声。
I don't know. Well, I normally just go or whatever.
そんな実際の音を作る。
Well, that's something. Yeah, I actually want to mention. Yeah, and it's actually very common to do that in America. But I realize there's so many onomatopoeias in Japanese where everybody has like a set way that they make noises. Like if I'm like describing something like that, I'm like a sound. I'll most of the time literally just try to recreate the sound, and not go like swish swish bam bam.
いやそんな言い方しないって。
Well, that is what you do, right? If I said, well, like I heard something, you'd be like, oh, it's like giwa giwa, or you know what I'm saying, like soa soa. You wouldn't go like, oh no, I'm just talking about hypothetically, like if you're describing a sound, you're more likely to use onomatopoeia than to try to recreate the sound, like and just mimic it.
まあね。まあ確かにね。じゃあ。
Hit me with another.
ラストにする？
Yeah.
はい、じゃあラストで。パラパラ。
パラパラ。I'm feeling flapping. Or I'm feeling like fanfare. I'm not entirely sure why in my head. Para para.
パラパラ。
Definitely sounds airy, sounds light. Para para. Is that not like something is like kind of like paper, sort of like not rustling, like big movements of like a paper-like substance?
ちょっと違うのかな。まあ、意味は、雨などの粒状のものがまばらに落ちてくる様子、またはその音。っていうことで、雨がパラパラと降ってきたとか、パラパラチャーハンとか、その粒が、
パラパラ
なんていうの？粒がね、一つ一つ、なんていうの？まばらに落ちてくる。
I don't think I've ever heard para para.
あ、
Isn't
そ
there
う。
something more common for rain?
ザーザー降ると
Yeah,
か。
zaza. Yeah, zaza.
雨
Yeah.
ザーザーとか。雨パラパラとかめっちゃ使うよ。
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Don't think
めっちゃ使うから。
I've heard other ones other than za.
ああ。ザーザー。雨、他に、まああるとは思うけど、今ちょっと思いつかないな。
Para
おさ
para.
パラパラ、パラパラめっちゃ言うよ。
I mean, I do my best here.
全部覚えてください。ここに一覧が多分100個以上あるから、明日までに覚えといてください。はい。
Oh, hold up. You know what? So I'm looking at para para,
うん。
and I'm not wrong. One of the uses of para para says flipping through a book, thumbing through a book, rifling cards. と書いてある.
どういうこ
Because
と？
I definitely felt, well, like, you know, like the moving of paper. I had to feel it like in my head, para para is like papers going like.
あー、パラパラめくる。あ、パラパラめくる言うわ。ごめん。
So I get a half point for that one.
そうね。
The rain, not feeling it, but
0.5 点。
I was like, I knew in my head paper showed up. I was like,
そうね。
I feel
そうね。
strong sense of paper from this.
パラパラ、ページをね、めくるとかね。はいはいはい。言うわ。
If you guys have heard any fun onomatopoeia and fun, I don't know, by your own definition, fun onomatopoeia, you should share them.
そうね。はい。面白いオノマトペあったらぜひ私たちとシェアしてください。YouTube の下のコメント欄、どしどし送ってください。あと、E メール、ね、lazyfluency@gmail.com までね、はい、お待ちしておりますので。
That bell means we reached the end of today's episode. Thanks for joining us in another lazy conversation towards fluency. If you have any language-related questions and or just looking for general advice, send an email to lazyfluency@gmail.com and we might respond to the next episode. Also, make sure to check out our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. We'd appreciate the support. This has been Joey,
And Ayami.
signing off. じゃあねー。
じゃあねー。
Bye-bye.
送ってね。バイバイ。